Hello and welcome to another Dev Hangout on, what are we, Wednesday the 25th of February. Very busy stream today with lots and lots to show you. We are days away from the release of patch 0.2.14 and I'm going to be sharing all of that with you today. There's so much, in fact, that I will be surprised if we manage to get through it all in the usual 2-hour stream, but I will try my best. So, right, what are we looking at? We've listened to what you guys have had to say in the forums, and we decided to take February as a month for bug fixing and improving on what we'd already got. We'd been adding so many things that we just needed to take a month to go back and clean up a few things and just enable some things that weren't working, and also to take a little bit of time to just polish up on a few things. So what have we got? Oh my god, load save is now promoted out of console and into the user interface, and let's all do a yay! I'm sure that will make a lot of people very happy, and I think there's a lot of people waiting to until we'd added load save to come back to the game and try it out. So that's number one. We also have a find idle peasant key, shortcut key, which is now F, which again is something that's been requested by you guys, and we have put that in. And so the F key will now cycle through your peasants. We have added a confirm to the building destroy. We have done some resource balancing in terms of production. We have controlled the spiders, so they're not going to come and kick your ass if you're a beginner player. So we've tied that to culture. We have we're now running in DirectX 11 on Windows, so this is DirectX 11. If you don't have a DirectX 11 compatible video card and you're on Windows, don't worry, because it will fall back to DirectX 9. There are some benefits in running DirectX 11, especially if you're on a 32-bit version of Windows. And also the text rendering is a little bit clearer as well. We have sickness and vomiting peasants in, which we'll be showing to you at some point. Assuming we can get to that point. We've enabled mead and we'll be enabling entertainment, so there'll be all of that to deal with. We have upgraded the ambient occlusion, so everybody that was on AMD cards would know that if you turned ambient occlusion on or SSAO, it looked like crap, so we've sorted that out as well, and also moved across to a different shader, which I'll be showing you. We have over in the editor, we have consolidated all of the tiles, so there is now one core tile kit, and all of the tiles have been removed out of all of the other sort of grassland and swamp and snow kits. We have the ice palace kit in there, although we don't really have a map at the moment to show you. And there's been a host of bug fixes. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. So let's dive in, looking at the new start screen. And just while I'm getting rolling, just please hold off your questions. If you do have a question, then if you can start your question with @GamesFoundry, that'll highlight and I'll be able to see it, and I'll keep an eye out for it. But in the meantime, let's get back to what we're looking at. Okay, so because I've been playing the game, I do have a save already, so I can continue that if I want to. Alternatively, I can start a new game. We've got access to the editors. I can also play the old tutorial. We've got links in the top left to the Twitch stream and the blog and all that sort of stuff, and a link to the website. Just to show you loads of saves, so let's continue a previous game. Fox was just giving you an example there of how to start your questions so that I can see them. Right, so let me just kill the music.
New villagers are in need of vegetables.
Alright, so this is a previous save that I had. All you need to do to save your game now, press your escape key, and we've got a save game button. If you click that, which I'll do now, and you'll hear that sort of sparkling ding. That means it's saved successfully. If it doesn't save successfully, it'll come up with an error message. There is a way now to actually report that. Harfox, can you just remind me what it is in the console to report bug? But it will package up the log files and the save game and everything into a nice little zip file so that you can send it to us. Now, so that was load save. I mean, load save does what it says on the tin, so I'm not going to go into that too much. DirectX 11. Okay, so I mentioned some of the benefits in terms of memory management and the text rendering. So text is slightly clearer as well. Not much to say about that. If you do try it and you're on a Windows and you have any problems, please let us know. It is the first patch that's going to be going out that will default to DirectX 11. There may be some problems, and we'll try to resolve those. There's not much of a change in performance, though, just in case you were expecting that. Okay, so I just need to scroll down my list because I've got a big long list of things that I need to cover in today's stream. Okay, the first thing I want to do, let's actually go into daytime, is let's have a look at the ambient occlusion, which now behaves much more nicely. Probably not the best. I should probably show you on a peasant really, shouldn't I? Everybody standing still. Oops, sorry about this. Is it on, off, on, off? It's a purely cosmetic thing. It can be fairly heavy on sort of low-end graphics cards, so it's really only for those of you that have got better graphics cards. But I like it now, so I tend to play with ambient occlusion turned on. Okay, lots of questions. What do you use to make this game? We use Unity 4.6 Pro. Is the engine, but we've built a lot of custom stuff on top of that. Harfox will probably answer some more in chat about that. Yes, we mentioned about submitting a report. So if you go pull up the console now and go submit report, it will package everything up for you and create a file, something in a project for you to be able to send to us. But we'll provide more information about that in the forums when the time comes. Okay. Because we've got so much to cover in today's stream, I'm going to try and keep on the sort of plan rather than going off and answering questions, because as I say, there's a lot to get through. Now, the next thing. I don't know how many of you are playing on Retina devices. Maybe you've got one of the new 5K iMacs. If you have, you're a lucky thing. Alternatively, you might be playing on a laptop, and when you've got all the user interface open, so try and ignore the fact that I'm being attacked by spiders. If you've got the user interface open and you're on a small device,
our village is under attack,
then the UI can become a little bit cumbersome. So what we've added in this build is we've got UI scaling in. Now it's not perfect at the moment, but it does actually let you. So if you're on a 5K display,
our village has attracted new settlers.
You may have found that the UI is very, very small. So yeah, UI scaling, very useful for very large or very small resolution displays. Yuki Muralen, sorry. If you want to ask a question in the forums, then we will do our best to answer and provide advice on how to do that. I will be playing through the game during this stream, so sort of like the beginner questions will be answered. Okay, some of the changes, we are having a bit of a battle at the moment, so let's just go and sort that out. There's a spider somewhere. A lot of spiders. Let's go and take this one out.
My pleasure.
I'll just let him take care of it.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Okay. Now the music's got. Oh God!
All
Right,
right,
we've
love.
got the
All right, dear.
Queen.
Right away.
Come on.
New settlers have arrived.
I'll just take care of this little problem, and then it'll be a bit calmer to talk to things.
Yes, my dear.
Okay, so they've taken
Okay.
care of business there. The first thing let's talk about, when you get a larger settlement, now this isn't a large settlement, this is a very small settlement at the moment, but when you get a large settlement it can be difficult to find peasants that you want to train. There are multiple ways to train a peasant, so for example, if I was to get, you see I'm looking around trying to find a peasant, it's a bit of a pain in the bum. So you can get that person and then we could say click on the building and then I could go to train woodcutter and click on that, or I could actually go into the building dialogue and I could select and move across here. Now that's all well and good if you're using the first method, but if you've got a lot of people, it can be very difficult to find people. So now, if you press the F key, it'll actually select and take you to where all your peasants are. Oh dear, including dead peasants, it would seem. Alright, so very useful, requested by the community, and it was fairly quick to put in, so we'll put that in. The next thing I want to talk about are changes to the UI. So finally I have put some tooltips in. So now when you hover over things it will actually tell you about what they are.
Yep.
Okay, so that's helpful for new players. Let's have a look. While we're in here, let's destroy this building. So now if I click on it, you may remember if you played the game, you might have accidentally clicked on the destroy button and there was no confirm step. So that basically you could end up destroying a building that you just constructed by accident. So now you can actually cancel the destroy.
A building has been destroyed.
Alright. So that should also stop those little annoyances when they happen. Now sickness won't start until culture level of 200, so we'll have to probably start a fresh game and build up to that, and we'll get to that stage. I want to talk about resource balancing. What else can I show you in here? Okay, alright, so I'm going to start a new game, I think. So let's return to the main menu. And this time select new game. And just catch up with chat. And I will play the easy map. Then this adds a few tweaks to it.
New settlers are in need of vegetables.
Oh, did I? What? I thought I went to new game. Did I click on the wrong one by accident? I think I made a mistake there. New game. Either that or we might have a bug. The patch should be out this week, most likely on Saturday. We're just going through doing final tweaks and testing. So we might not have got... Oh dear, what's going on there? I think we've got a problem there. Alright, let's just quickly recover from that. Fire up the game again. I apologise for a little bit of the wait. Okay. Easy map. Load. What we have done now as well, if you are familiar with the way we organise files and everything, maps and save games are now separated into 2 folders. Okay, we're good. We're back up now. Okay, so construction options. Let's put the supply wagon down. Actually, we're going to put it down over here.
A building has been constructed.
I now, again, we've got tooltips on the categories. So the first thing I want to do is set these guys chopping down some wood. If I just open our inventory, we've added 10 planks to our the starting inventory. The reason being is that on this map we've got 4 folks, and the way it was set up before, you actually, before you could afford a woodcutter's hut, you needed to wait for them to do 2 supply runs, which was meh. So what we've done now is we've reduced it so that you can construct a woodcutter's hut much sooner. And I don't want to waste their time cutting that, so get on and finish building those. Crazy Carl's asking, is the difficulty of this game based on map stuff, or can you ensure more negativity on easy maps? Yeah, I think that's how we'll introduce difficulty in the future, is that you'll be able to set the difficulty. It will be independently of the maps, because the maps will all be combined to form one big world with portals to travel between the 2, and how you the difficulty that you decide to play those will be depending on your difficulty setting. So let's just
training this person will leave you without any peasants.
It does prevent me from training all but 1 person.
Yes,
and I think I was, once you've eaten, I think I was just going off to a quick bite to eat. You finished? Alright, good. So you go and start getting some iron. And then we want 50 logs, planks, should I say. Now these guys, woodcutters are much more efficient than peasants at cutting down trees. So you'll see, oh no, hang on, they're adding inventory to the local building, aren't they? Or are they? Oh no, there we go. Alright, so there's our 50. So now we're able to construct a cottage, so let's get that down there. I like to build my cottages fairly close to the woodcutter's hut, because then it's less travel distance for firewood. Talking about firewood, that was a bit of a gripe in the last patch. We have tamed that down a lot now. We've also tweaked a lot of the crafting, and I'll probably get down to blacksmith soon and we can look at that. Firewood has been removed from the leather armor crafting, and because you now have more firewood, you're able to actually craft some of the armor. Okay, so I've only got 1 person building at the moment, which is a bit slow. Yeah, I'll probably actually demote somebody, so let's do that now. So we'll demote somebody. We'll go to the workers tab, let's choose you and demote you. Another thing that we've added, I'll just show you this, is that there was no feedback between when you selected somebody to go for training. So now when we click, there's not far to travel, but it'll say on her way. And we actually put her into the left-hand column, and she'll change over. There you
Building
go. So,
completed.
and then let's demote her again. So there's a bit more UI feedback, so you know what's happening. Yes, the SSAO is active, but it's quite subtle. It's not too strong. Okay, so I think I probably want another cottage. That's it. Now 2 of you working, so that should be a bit quicker. Owen Snowden, welcome to the stream. Long time no see, I think. Or is it just because I didn't stream last week? Okay, production has also changed. So I think what we will do is begin with 100. Okay.
How can I help?
Building complete.
So let's send you to train there.
Yep.
You will probably be getting firewood. We've changed production as well.
New
so
settlers have arrived.
in the previous patch, most production required like 20 of the base resource before the production cycle would run. We've changed that now, so the cycle will operate on much smaller quantities, so you're getting ticks of
New
produced
villagers
goods
have
much
arrived.
quicker. All right, so we're getting more now. So I'm going to turn on auto recruit for the woodcutters because I always want 4. Wood is important, as you know. It's just not as important as it used to be. So let's actually just put our
Our
firewood
village has attracted
planks
new
down
settlers.
there. And then what I want to do is let's get a hunting lodge. So let's put a hunting lodge here near to our deer. Deputy Dank, how is the building tier system coming along? Well, all the assets have been done for months now. It's just that we haven't enabled it, but we will be enabling it within the next couple of months. That's certainly the plan anyway.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Okay, so we're now getting more population, so you can see from the tooltip that the first number is the current population and the
A
second
building
one is
has
the
been
maximum.
constructed.
So let's get a couple of hunters.
Yes, Petal.
New settlers have arrived.
Yep.
Let's actually, oops,
All right, my
put
love.
you into a hot group,
Yes, my dear.
hotkey. So
How can I help? Something
put you
to
into
do?
control group on 1,
Ta-ta.
and let's get to work. Maybe no, not wood, stone cutters. I want a blacksmiths. So I've placed my blacksmiths close to an iron mine. I just happen to know that there's one here.
New villagers have arrived.
So spiders won't attack until your culture has reached 200. The need for basic clothing kicks in
Construction completed.
at 150, so it's all staggered now. So for new players, they won't suddenly be faced with a wall of needs and complaining peasants.
What now?
You can be our blacksmith. Oh, I
Yes,
don't know why I did that.
All right, my love.
I've got 2 people right here. Not to worry.
Huh?
I should probably get you guys working on some foraging. Let's see. I'll build the stone cutters. So let's put the stone cutter over here. Next to our quarry. I've just got these couple of steps to get through before I can actually show you production and how that's changed. And we obviously need to be placing buildings and training people to get our culture score up before a lot of the interesting stuff starts to happen. Or interesting in the sense of players that are already familiar with Folktale. But there are, as I say, there are 2 new needs that you need to. Are they needs? Well, there's a need for entertainment, which involves the sale of mead, but there's sickness as well. I guess so. There's the herbalist is now has a purpose in terms of making medicine. Okay, research. Let's get some research started. I've changed the values on all of these, so both in terms of the amount of research that's required and the gold cost. So we can begin with leather, because our hunter will be, if I just open it up, yeah, you can see that we're starting to get leather there now. And the carcasses have changed to raw meat. So we've got 23 raw meat in. I don't actually need that, so I'll put that there for now. But let's start researching leatherworking, and then we'll be able to unlock the leather armor and equip that. And that should come in quite handy. Now, because they only require 20
Building completed.
20 research, it's going to complete a lot quicker. In the previous build, it was 80. So it took quite a while. But we've only got 2 workers, and we're already 25% done. So we'll come back to that anyway when it tells us. We now have our stone cutters up and running, so let's train our first stone cutter. And Brom de Bramwin will set off and start pounding away at that rock. And we'll start to get some stone. I think we need a bit more population now, so let's get a few more on the go. Actually, let's pop that in. Pop that down in here and catch up with chat. Donio, so are interiors planned for the final version, like in the tutorial? We've got to see. If we feel there's they're going to contribute in a big way to the gameplay without imposing too much of a switch between as we load into the interior of the buildings, then we'll certainly consider it. But if we don't feel it's going to add that much, then no. But we'll see. It's one of those features that's borderline. Does it really add anything? Doesn't it? We'll see. Okay. Got no music playing for some reason. I guess it's because I was alt-tabbing out.
Building completed.
Okay, so what building did I just... That was another village. So let's have a look what they need. Well, they're all right at the moment. They're starting to get a little bit hungry, so we should start thinking about getting a butchery down, because we now have 39 raw meat, so let's get started on that.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Let's put that down there. Now, roads aren't in the UI at the moment, and they're not functional in the sense of providing faster travel time. It's something that we want to add, but I'm just going to add in a little road here anyway.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
There we go. There's my road. My curvy road. Okay, how are you doing with the butchery? Not bad. How are you doing on the research?
New settlers have arrived.
Okay, not bad. I can make them actually make this a lot faster, so
A building has been
allocate
constructed.
points into research, and then bang, there you see it's done straight away. So now I can craft our leather, and I was just saying we've taken away
New villagers have
firewood,
arrived.
but firewood is no longer a problem because we've got plenty of it. It was actually a bug that we found and fixed. And that has since made it a lot easier. So I'm going to start making a couple
Our
of
village
sets
has attracted new settlers.
of leather armor. Oops, 4 caps. No, we don't want those. 2 caps and 2 gloves. Okay, so I'll leave blacksmith getting on with those. Let's go
Yes, my dear.
and...
A woman's work is never done. Be right there,
Oh, dear.
darling. Something to do?
There we go. So now... I don't quite know what's going on there. This looks a bit like a bug, I think.
Yes, Petal. Busy.
Something bizarre
All right, my
happening
love.
there.
All right, dear.
Something
Right
screwy
away.
going on pathfinding.
Okay. A woman's work is never done.
I think there might be a problem with the butchery,
Yes, my dear. Be right there, darling.
because they're trapped now.
Busy.
A building has been
All right,
destroyed.
dear. Right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, change of plan. I'll have to fix that. We'll obviously fix that before the patch. So, because they need meat, I am going to build a fishing hut. Day and night cycle, yes, we'll probably change that so it's a bit more gradual. It's just not a high priority task at the moment. Checking on our inventory.
Construction completed.
We've now got our armour. If I actually go down here, I can use one of the filters and it'll just show me the armour. We haven't got any weapons at the moment. What do they need? We should probably get started.
Something to do?
Yes, go fishing. Go fish. You go fish too, because we're a bit behind on our food production. In fact, I better get started on... Let's start with our fields. If I can fit 2 in there, if I put them quite snugly. Yeah, yes, I can. What about you? You go in there? Certainly pop you there. And a windmill. That might have to go a little bit further afield. Anywhere in there we can build it. No.
Building completed.
Alright, so let's build that there. And get started on some wheat and some... gonna build another field for carrots. Alright, so that'll be my carrot field.
Building completed.
If I want to change what crops in the field, I can just left click on it and then choose, so wheat, cotton, herbs and carrots.
A building has been constructed.
I guess I can set this one to carrots, so I change this to carrot field. Yeah, I'll try and build the butchery somewhere else, see if it fixes it. Oops. Butchery. Need 100 iron. Okay.
Construction completed. Building completed.
So I was talking about production. Now we've changed it to be much more, well, smaller cycles. So fish production, in terms of salmon steaks, let's pull this down here and put my fish down here. In terms of producing salmon steaks, they will now produce much more frequently. You don't need a stockpile of like 20 fish before it'll start, so you only need like a couple of fish, and then production of your salmon steaks will continue. And that's the same for all resources. So let's go ahead and get a couple of farmers, so they're on their way. And then when they arrive, they'll change into farmers. Okay, so they will now go ahead and plant wheat fields and our carrot field. Using the F key, let's have a quick look at what our peasants are doing. They're standing around, so I think you can be put to work.
Be right there, darling.
Go forage. And you can be set to work as well.
All right, dear. Right away. Okay.
Okay, good. They're working now. At least getting us some food. I'll just save, so escape. Okay, good. Resume. Save is also a lot faster now as well. Clockwork Goblin got a question about modding. I'll let Harfox answer that. It's not. It's something that we're preparing for. Put it that way. You can certainly change all of the data files at the moment. Okay, so where are we at? You'll notice that I've not been hassled for basic clothing yet. So that's the staggering based on the culture value. Nor have I been attacked by spiders, and which they will continue expanding, but they won't actually send waves of attacks against me. So it just helps new players ease into the game without being completely overridden by spiders during early gameplay. I think we probably need to think about a bakery, and I will build that fairly close. Let's see, we want all of our buildings fairly central, I would say. Because travel time is important, you want to sort of develop a commercial hub for your village, and then have your cottages sort of nearby as well, just so that you're really thinking carefully about the walking time. And then roads will become more important in the future, so they will allow faster travel time. Okay, I was going to build a new butchery, wasn't I? Not yet though. Let's see if we can get another. Let's build another house.
Building
I always like to keep a couple of peasants free, just because otherwise construction becomes a bit slow. Let's put that there, so they should come running if I just do a find. So once Muriel has put the firewood in, she'll go and take up the next task. Oh, she's hungry. Alright, well when they've finished meeting their need for hunger, then they will go and get on with construction of that building. So they'll just have a bite to eat. Nom, nom, nom. Now they'll get on with construction, so if I zoom out, here they both come.
Yes, Petal.
And they'll get on with building that cottage. Once that's built, we need to think about getting a baker. Okay, we're alright for the time being.
A building has been constructed.
All right, my love.
Alright, you can go and be our baker. Let's see what we're doing on wheat. Yep, so we've got, flour.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
I think what we can do is actually we can take away one of these woodcutters because they're well, let's leave them. Let's build up a little bit of a stockpile. In fact, talking of a stockpile, maybe we should build a storehouse. Let's build that there.
New settlers have arrived.
I think what we're also going to do, we were discussing this in the team the other day. Yeah, there's no music. Why is there no music? Let me save it and just load into the game again. Definitely need music, so let's exit to desktop and start the game again. Come on. Okay, continue. So I'm just restarting because I want some music to play. Yeah, in terms of the music, at the moment, if
New settlers have arrived.
If you Alt-Tab out the game, it's just to do with the timing of things. Hopefully it was something that we can resolve in the future. Okay, so our storehouse is being built. We've got music back. We've got
New
vegetables.
buildings have been constructed.
Bread production's going, so let's go and have a look at bread. So bread now produces in smaller ticks and much faster. So we'll be able to see it coming in, well, assuming they don't eat it. 2. Yeah. So our flour's going down as it's made into baked into bread. So it's a little bit smoother, a little bit more frequent, and hopefully cuts down on some of those mad rushes that you get when you get a new supply built in the previous patch. Should we try the butchery? Are we ready for a butchery? Where are we, butchery? Firewood, what are you doing? You're going to eat. You're just dropping off firewood. Construction and butchery, but... Okay, I've noticed this actually. There's a little bug with firewood at the moment. So we're getting there. Our culture level is starting to get up. The need for basic clothing is about to kick in. So let's preempt that and start with construction. Okay, so we need stone. So maybe we could go and encourage. So now we're
Construction completed.
Maybe we could do with another couple of workers here. That's it, there's those two running over. So let's start thinking about where I want to build fields, possibly down here. Can we build fields now? Yes, we can. Let's tuck one in there. We only need a couple of fields. I have a feeling we can build that as long as, yeah, we can.
Building completed.
Okay, we best change that. What do we want? We want cotton.
Yep. My
Actually, where are you
pleasure.
going? Carrying firewood. I think there's a bug there. I wonder if they're when they're carrying firewood to a building, you destroy the building. I'll have to test that. Okay, so let's set that to cotton as well. And are we ready for a weaver such? Yes, we are. Let's set that there. How long have we been making games? Well, I first got into the industry when I was very young. I think I was 21, and I made a game called Beasts and Bumpkins. I was the co-designer and art lead on that game. That was signed with Electronic Arts, and then I left the industry for a long time, and then I got back into games in 2011, and then the team started to form around then. Let's see if we can sort you out by training you. I think that's alright. I think they're sorted now. So in total, 7 years, something like that. Or would I've
Villagers
noticed,
are in need of vegetables.
I've noticed what you said about the civics menu. Let's get another one though. Let's see, went for some food. And we'll need to think about a tailor as well. Oh, well, the tailor's is ready, so let's put that next door. And then they've got a really short distance to walk. Okay. All our tailor then needs to do is go and collect the bolts of cotton from the weaver's hut and take them to the tailor's. And I should also start to think about some military because those spiders are going to start
right,
coming
now.
soon.
Our villagers need vegetables in their diet.
Haven't they got them? They got them. I guess they'll start picking up soon. Probably just had a delivery. How big is the team? The team at the moment is 8 of us, but there are additional team members who join from time to time. For example, like Mag the musician. Okay. Oh, so let's try our butchery again. Oh, we need some more peasants. Right, so the spiders...
Our supply of vegetables is running low.
Yes, my dear.
Construction completed.
Maybe we'll just build too close. Let's grab.
On my way.
Let's just get everybody together. Where are you going?
All right, dear.
Let's tease them out into open ground. Go! I think that's the anti-kiting code that's working.
I'm gonna cut you down to size, boy. Oh.
So the grass is missing at the moment, but that will... Oh my god, 2 queens.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Alright, they'll take out this nest.
Oh, doggone it. That's it for
I'm dying
me.
from poison. Okay, so that's that take. Oops.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Let's give them a bit of a quicker run back into town. All sorts of loot and stuff. Are we getting, where are we? 189, so we're getting closer. I think...
New settlers have arrived.
Let's get the tailor up and running. Give you a couple of tailors. And now I want to think about a barracks because I need stone and iron. So I should probably just save up for those. In the meantime, let's go ahead and give our hunters some leather armor. So that should help out a little bit. Increases their armor rating. That old problem with the cats walking across the keyboard, new pop. Oh, are they back? Somebody's back.
Something to do?
No, just a deer. train. Oh dear, I guess somebody died. Oh, they'll have become... I know why. I know why. Let's go back to our... I know. Alright, but we can certainly turn that off and demote one of you guys. How much wood have we got? We do need quite a lot of wood. So I think I'll turn that back on later. The cottage. Let's see. Fit one in there. No. Let's start expanding out this way then. Let's put one here. Actually, no, let's move it to here.
Building completed.
Close to 200 points. So, first of all, let's check clothing. So that's started to decline now. However, looks like we've got bolts of cotton. And we've got cloth being produced. So you can see here we've got the clothing, which should be coming into our inventory there. There are the bolts of cotton. Where are our fish? Don't have many fish at the moment. I guess we might have lost some fishers in the attack.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Building completed.
Got bread. Where's our flour? There's a flour. Berries. We're all right with that. There. Meat. We're just waiting on some population, so let's go and get those meat sorted out.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Alright, well, let's have 2 butchers. Let's hopefully you won't get stuck.
Yes, Petal.
Good. Okay.
New settlers have arrived.
All right, my love.
You're going to go and collect some.
New villagers
Marcuson,
have arrived.
In terms of buildings and how they're constructed, is something we're going to review towards the end of development once we know more about the memory profile of the final game.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Okay, so I think that's all working all right. I think entertainment kicks in about 300, so that's not a problem. What I do want to do, however, have we got the barracks up yet?
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
More stone. Alright, let's churn out stone production. Turn on auto recruit. Let them fill those up. There we go. So that's auto recruit in action. So whenever somebody leaves or is killed, it will automatically try and fill their place. So that's our stone cutters at work at the quarry. Over here, is anybody home? No, well, this is our iron mine. Okay. Let's also reward the stone cutters, and then we'll get a greater yield on each trip that they return stone. So what we got now, stone 142. So we should be pretty ready for our barracks. So let's get our barracks down. I think what we'll also do is we'll also get started on. Right, we haven't got enough wood or stone because I think we just used it all in the barracks. So the tier 1 walls, which we're actually going to make a smaller version of them, but they require both wood and stone. But you are able to build walls. So we want to get some plate armor probably. So
building
let's
has
go
been
ahead
constructed.
and research. Get the research started on plate. I'll make it a gradual thing. I could... Actually, we do want some iron. We've only got 55, but I'll put the... I should probably do it. Let's... how much gold? We've got much gold, so let's put our tax rate up. Happiness is very high, so we're okay with that. Warmth, no problem with firewood. Got a nice supply there of planks and firewood.
Someone has become sick.
Ah, let's go and have a look. Alright, so they've probably only got a mild sickness at the moment. So it should pass. But their health will be impacted as well as their happiness. So it's important really to start production of medicine. So we need to get on with that really. Can our walls wait? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see if we can get 50 stone needed. What have we got? 47. Well, there's plenty of work going on there, so it shouldn't be too long until we cross 50. Here comes the next delivery. Let's give them a reward just as they get there. We'll get a little extra reward. Okay. So we want to be building a herbalist den. So let's put that down here, and then we want some herb fields. Doesn't look like I can build there, but we'll build one there. One there. Should be some people running in. Yeah, there's one. If we use the F key, let's find out what they're doing. Going to get some food. Buying some meat pies. How are we doing on meat pies? Well, there's our meat, and there are our pies. But I guess they've just started making them. Because we're nearly out again. Maybe we need some more hunters. How many hunters we got? 2. Let's have another hunter. 80. You go be a hunter.
Construction completed.
Construction completed. Let's go and have a look. Okay. So one of you... Actually, we'll go and get the best person for the job.
Building completed.
Bookstore cowboy. Hi. And no, it's in the console, but it's the patch out this weekend. The load save will be in the UI, which reminds me. Let's just do a save of that. Okay, that's it. We heard a little ding. Set these to grow herbs. And
What
you
now?
Come on, be a herbalist. But let's have 2 of those. So the herbalist will now collect. Let's get around to the right side. If you didn't know, you can hold down V and you can change the angle that you're looking at. So the herbalist and the herbalist den will make medicine. Turn the herbs into medicine. And then when folks get sick, if you've got medicine in your inventory, then they'll use that and they'll be able to get better more quickly. Now, the thing with disease, although they can only get mild disease at the moment until we cross the next threshold, which I think is 300, is that they have different rates of infection. So if all your people are crossing each other, then you'll end up with a village that's getting infected. And if you haven't got medicine to cure them, then you're going to have a problem, especially if it's a serious disease, because that can result in death. Okay, spiders seem to have taken care of. They don't seem to be coming at the moment anyway, but I'm sure they will. I've got plenty of things to be taken care of in my village. I said I was going to build some walls, didn't I? So let's go ahead. Guess no, still not got enough. We haven't got much stone. That's why. How are we doing on food production? Let's just check. Bread, it's still fairly low. It's not the best. Maybe we should start thinking about running another farm. Of course, in a couple of patches' time, when we enable building upgrades, this dynamic will change. Because you'll be able to build, train more farmers in a building. Actually, there's only 2 farmers, so let's go ahead and sort that out. 2 new farmers. Let's have some new fields as well. 1 field. I should be able to fit another one in there. Can I squeeze one in? No. What I could do, I suppose, is expand the range of it. Squeeze one in there. And then let's go. So that'll be outside range. So what I want to do is go to research, expanded boundary, and start researching that.
A building has been constructed.
So I should just pump everything into that. Well, not everything, but almost everything. And then, actually, let's pump everything into it.
Construction completed.
Got some berries, but not a lot. Let's just hope they do that quickly. Will there be different illnesses? Yes, there will. That's the plan anyway. There are 3 in at the moment of different severities. We're still working on it though.
Plague is spreading in our town.
Right, we've got an outbreak already. Have we got projectile vomiting yet? I guess that comes with the next level. So you can see it's already spreading. They've got better. They're using... well, any medicine that we had has been used up. Maybe the fields weren't built. No, you see, we didn't have any medicine because there's not had any herb fields left yet. Ready. Okay. What do I need? Vegetables. I'm going to need another carrot field. They're being grown. How's research going? Guess it finished. If we go here, we can see, yeah, it did. I missed that. So now, oh, it's still not in there. Look, even with the expanded boundary, it's still not far enough. I could build it there, I suppose. I guess if we expand the boundary of this one. There you go. We'll be able to use this for cotton. Right, let's think about entertainment. So maybe build a monastery. So we'll have a little bit of a remote monastery. Get some bee yards down. Put one there. It's not a field. Bee yard. Maybe one more. Now at the moment, a huge amount of mead gets produced, so we'll take that down for the final patch. There we go. We've got a couple of people running.
Yes, Petal.
Alice and Sybil. Farming herbs, good.
building completed.
Okay.
All right, my love.
Building completed.
In terms of thirst, there is a
building
plan
has been
to
constructed.
bring the well online for more than that, for drinking water, for putting out fires, and for an input into mead brewing.
Yes, my dear.
So that's of 2 female
Construction
monks.
completed.
Alright, both of you, and then you guys should go and look after the bees. You're probably hungry, but Sybil is now tending to our bees. So yeah, as you see, one trip to the bee yard produced 17 mead, which is not right. So we can reduce that quite a lot. So that's okay. So they're going to be producing that. Actually, do I need to? Probably don't need to, do I? Because of the amount that it produces. So let's demote you. Got some research completed somewhere. Aha! That was our plate armor. Alrighty. So plenty of firewood left, so no crafting problems. So let's get a couple of these. And you can work on the chest later. Now, another thing that we did, if you remember, in the patch that's live on Steam at the moment, they get, the City Watch get common halberds. No, not common. Simple halberds. But when you unlocked crafting of halberds, all you got was the ability to make more halberds, which wasn't very good. So we've changed that. Let's pump everything into research. Oh no, and not everything. Give them a reward. So we've changed that now, and they can get the next halberd up, so that there's a reason to actually craft better weapons for them. So we'll leave the blacksmith researching halberds, and our folks will just know that there was a... It wasn't there, so I guess it was the expanded boundary on our Weaver's Hut. Yes, so now you can see that it takes in this field. And if I go and have a look in here, I can see that expanded boundary is complete. So now we are getting our plate armor sorted. Let's go ahead and get a few more population involved. How are we doing on stone? Stone's alright, but iron is not great. Because of that research. But it should be stepping up soon. How are we doing on food? Vegetables still not great. Alright, but I'm alright for the time being. So we are playing Folktale, and this is a preview of the next patch that's coming out on most likely on Saturday. And at the moment I'm trying to get up to a level
New settlers have arrived.
where all of the new stuff starts. So mead was working. What we also need, I'll come back to the soldiers because we're waiting for a bit of population. We need a tavern, so let's build a tavern fairly close.
New villagers have arrived.
There we go. Get to work building that. We've got new villagers arriving, so if we just find out where they are, they'll probably go and get firewood. Got somebody coming to help there. Right, so we've not got loads at the moment, so maybe we could have another cottage
Our village has attracted new settlers.
right opposite the pub. Might get a bit noisy at night time.
Building completed.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Roddy, how you doing? In terms of archers on walls, yeah, I'm going to get to that point. And I'll talk a little bit about
A
how
building has been constructed. New settlers have arrived.
some of the changes that we're going to be making for the future. We've got it to a pretty good state in terms of the first. I mean, what have we been playing for now? An hour? Something like that. We're pretty happy with that first hour of gameplay. There's still more things that we can continue to do, but now our attention
New villagers have arrived.
is shifting more to the RPG side and that next 1 to 2 hours of gameplay.
Disease has broken out.
Well, let's go and check on the disease. Oh dear.
How can I
It'll
right
spread.
away? Something to do? Okay. A woman's work
I
is
wonder
never
what
done.
type. Looks like it's just the normal
Our
disease.
village has
We've got
attracted
medicine.
new settlers.
We've got 10 medicine, so lesser medicine, so that should be all right. Just thinking. It is a game that requires you to think. It's a little bit
Settlers have
difficult.
arrived looking for a fresh start.
Talking as well. I should probably get another farm started. Maybe open some of this land up here. But what I really want to get started on is some walls. Still a bit low on iron. What's going on here? Alright, 2 more blacksmiths. That should help. Spider poison into a real disease. Yeah, I think spiders are definitely going to become more meaningful once we add in silk and clothing and stuff. Right, I really am going to have to start thinking about some military soon because they're going to start coming. In fact, I wonder why they've not left this nest yet. I know there are more anyway. Right, tavern. Let's hire a couple of innkeepers. And let's have a look at what they're going to do. So here's a monk going about, going to get some mead. Carry the mead. Actually, did we build a storehouse out here? If I didn't, we probably need to. I think there's one over here, isn't there? Wasn't it in the woods somewhere? There's the monk, because the monk's carrying the barrel of mead. But the innkeeper is going to have to also go all that way, so we've got a bit of a supply problem. There's the storehouse, if I just zoom in there. Alright, so we need to build another storehouse that's closer, because that's a ridiculous way to travel. That's it, so that was a drop off. We've got to walk all that way, so I think we want another storehouse. Where shall we put it? Can we fit it in the middle? Yes, let's put it there. Let's check on our needs. Probably want to think about another farm soon. Get a couple of fields in here. Yes, we can.
There aren't enough iron ingots to do that.
Alright, with the iron. Well, probably.
Construction completed.
Alright. So let's go and see if our tavern is opera. Oh, what's that? Don't know what that is. So we've got our armor ready at least.
Building completed.
do a little bit more. I think because we need armor as well. I think we better open up another blacksmith's. And I've got to watch it because those goblins are
Building
always
completed.
there, aren't they? So that's.
Yep. Yo,
A
want
building
something?
has been
What's
constructed.
up, Slick?
I'm gonna have 40 villagers. Carriers, maybe. I think we've kind of addressed the need anyway with being able to build storehouses. So now that that storehouse is up and running, they should have a much.
Anything needs brewing?
Our
Watch.
village is under attack.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh no, you're all right. Finish him off. Yeah. Oh crikey! Yeah, here they come. It's spider time, and I'm not ready. Quick. I think they'll be alright. It might die, that's all. Poison. Yeah, the monk died.
New settlers have arrived.
So let's...
Construction completed.
So this symbol's saying that there's nobody working in the monastery. So we'll go ahead and hire...
Our town is under attack.
I know.
All right, love.
So let's assign... Go.
New villagers have arrived.
While they're running there, let's equip them. No, we wanted better halberds as well, didn't we?
Yes, my dear?
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Go ahead. Have they researched halberds? Yes, they have. So let's go to crafting. Oh no, where's halberds? I must have messed it up. I've messed it up, haven't I? So you should be able to build craft a better halberd, but I've obviously messed up the config
Settlers
files.
have arrived looking for a fresh start.
That's not good. Rats. Oh well, that's part of testing. So now I know that we need to fix that up. The reason why I want to
New settlers have
enable
arrived.
building upgrades as well is so that barracks, we can upgrade the barracks and get some more troops. Okay, so I don't want to continue on playing too much. What I will do is let's just see if we can get some walls. Probably not. No. So let's cheat. I'm gonna cheat. All right. And let's get our walls under construction.
We don't have enough stone blocks to do that.
Oh really?
Not enough stone blocks.
So excuse me just for cheating a little bit. I need to get our walls underway. Rats could indeed bring a plague. Probably need an arbalist as well. Let's build the cottage.
Yep.
Let's pull you off that. Come on, you come and help with this as well.
What now?
We need the people.
Huh?
Yeah, come and help. Normal player at the moment can cheat, yes. Music seems to have stopped again. doesn't it?
Building completed.
Oh, there we go. Mention it.
New
Right.
villagers have arrived.
So that should get us some more villagers.
Yep.
One of which
My pleasure.
I want as an arbalist. Now,
Our village has attracted new settlers.
it's very possible that one of our hunters died, and now when they die, they return any gear that they had on them to back to your inventory. So all of that nice sort of plate armor and everything that you crafted won't be lost.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
There, the walls are getting on okay. There's some stairs up here.
New settlers have arrived.
And let's put... Well, I don't want to cheat too badly. Let's put a repeating crossbow up here. You don't want to get too close to them.
New villagers have arrived.
On my way. Ta-ta.
Alright, so maybe we are going to have to cheat. That's alright, we've got out of range. Let's put a Gates house in there.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
That'll do for now in terms of the wall. I'm just going to wait for this to complete. Walls have got a few issues still with. Yeah, you see it's saying that it's not completed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save. And then I will just quit and go back into this. Because they seem to work once you actually go back into a save game. So if you do have any issues with walls at the for the time being, until they get fixed, just save game, load that save game. What countries are the developers from? UK, Sweden, Poland, the USA, Canada, and Australia. Oh, looks like we've got a save load issue. I'll have to pass that error in the log file. If it won't recover, then we'll jump across to the rest of it, because there's still lots more stuff that I want to show you guys. No, I guess we've got a load save bug there. More of a load bug, so it's just a serialization issue. I'm sure that will be fixed by tomorrow. Alright, not to worry. What we will do instead is we'll go into the map designer and we'll have a look at some of the changes there. I just need to change my layout. Oops. Okay. That's interesting. Why? That shouldn't be doing that. Just check VSync Foxel, because it's going a bit nuts at the moment. Anyway, we'll continue on. So I talked about consolidation of kit pieces in the editor. So let's open up, let's say, the village scene. Okay. So before, each biome kit had tiles in it. So if I go down here, like to the snow kit, and we had all sorts of tile pieces in here, like cliffs and hills and things like that. We had them in the swamp kit, the snow kit, and in the grasslands kit. Well, now they have all moved to this thing called core tiles. So if you are in the snow zone, all you need to do is use the core tiles and then use the paint tool and actually paint them. So, you know, for example, I could get the paint tool and there we go. We've got let's add a little bit of ice in there as well. Yeah. So that's all you need to do. So it's just a common kit now that is for all of your tiles. We've also simplified the lights. So lights kit now includes some of the common things that you would use as light sources. So candles, campfires, all of the torches, sconces, braziers, those sorts of things, as well as lights and other things. So just be aware of that if you are a level designer. There are also a couple of new kits in here. So there is an ice kit, which is sort of improved. Actually, let's let me see. Get a couple of pieces here. Rotate them around. So we've got ice cliffs that you would paint. I don't know, because I've got tiles beneath it, this might not work particularly well, but let's give it a go. It's sort of working. Alright, there we go. So we've got all sorts of ice cliffs and little ice clusters. And this will be for the dungeon zone of the snow map. And where you will go and meet the Glacians faction. So you've already sort of met the Werfield monks, and the opposition to that is called the Glacians, but we're not ready to reveal all of that just yet. So there's that, and then we also have the Ice Palace kit. So let me find that Ice Palace. Some missing icons that I need to put in yet, but this is well, I think I've got a map actually. It's still being worked on, but let's load that in. So this is the home of the Glacians, and it's very sort of frosty. The leader of the Glacians is Jack Frost, so his sort of palace is all very frosty. So we're just working on this kit at the moment. We've still got to do some improvements to the lighting, but yeah, that's a whole new sort of dungeon area that is coming. Okay, let me have a look at these. Now there are a number of changes that we've also made in the editor. So one of them is an ability to lock props. So now I can't select anything. So if I'm working with wave spawners or anything like that, I can also lock tiles as well. And then another thing that you may have had problems with is not being able to go through colliders. So if you wanted to go somewhere or you got stuck under the terrain, well, now you can actually turn off the camera colliders and pass straight through everything. Right, and then let me get out and then turn them back on. And then now I'll start colliding with everything. So that's one change. Another change that we've got is now you can change the... I'm not quite sure why they... I guess that's broken. There's no preview coming up of that piece, that kit piece. But anyway, another change is that you can now change the snap. So each piece has its own snap settings. So let's choose one of this, for example. If I just move it up, you can see as I move it, it's got a snap setting on there. I can change that. So if I want to make it, I don't know, 10 and 10. That's probably not big enough. Let's make it 50 or 40. And now, when I move it, there you go. You see the snap's much bigger now. And then you could turn... can you turn it off? I don't know. Maybe just half. Very sort of more precise placement. And the same for rotation as well. So the moment that's 1/4, I guess free rotation if I wanted to. So that is now in. Let's see what else we've got. Oh yes, in terms of all of this consolidation that's been going off with the kit pieces, all you need to do is just open your map in the editor and then save it out again, and it will automatically remap all of your existing tiles. At least that's the theory, anyway. We've done it, didn't have any problems, it all worked for us, so it should in theory work for everybody else. What else have we got? Alright. So, in terms of bug fixes as well, we've talked about loot. Let me just see what time it is. Loot. When a character died, loot was returned to the global inventory. We've got rid of those green clear resources icons that were magically appearing in the inventory when you untrained somebody. We fixed the SSO. We have fixed the bug where when you exit a game back to the main menu and load into a game, loot wasn't dropping. We fixed that as well. Taxes are no longer generated when you pause. We now have an exit on the... Let's just go back to the main menu. So now we now have an exit on the start screen, which, believe it or not, we didn't after all this time. It was a bit stupid, but yeah. Anyway, it's in there now. Oh, sorry. One of the massive fixes, of course, is that the problems under OS X and the crashing. Not all OS X, just some additions on some machines. That is now fixed, so Mac users can give a cheer about that. We tested it in the experimental build earlier in the month and had nothing but positive results from that, so that's all pretty good. So that is a big fix that we're pleased to be able to scrub off the list. I don't think continue worked, will it? Let's go and have a look at the folders. Okay. I believe that's everything in this patch, so we've managed to cover it off. We've still got a few, so if I go to saves and then go into sessions, so I might be able to load that earlier one. Actually, I've got a backup of a previous village as well.
New villagers are in need of vegetables.
Yep.
Okay, let's load. Let me see if I can load in one that was at a similar stage before. It's a fairly big one. I think I got to culture 700 or something, and I think I had 105.
Someone has become sick.
Villagers. Yeah, I did. So this is one. Here's one that I baked earlier, and you can see that we've got the walls. So now I can send him.
A foul plague is spreading in our town.
Let's go and have a look. Which disease have they got? We've still not seen any projectile vomiting, have we? Which I'm very disappointed at.
Disease has broken out.
Yeah, well, let's. Come on. Why aren't you being sick? They were all being sick earlier. I guess I can't make them do it on demand. We've improved the look of some of the units as well. So the arbalist.
One of our villagers has developed a fever.
Alright, let's have a look. No, not particularly serious. Yeah, so as I was saying, we've improved the look of some of the units as well, so the armor looks a lot better now. Yeah, so on the walls, actually, I wonder if I can still damage them. Yeah, I can, so... It's just simulating some of the effects of...
There's been an outbreak of disease.
I want to see projectile vomiting, so let's... Ah!
One of your subjects is feeling unwell.
They're all being sick, aren't they, right now? Oh, there we go. They were vomiting while they were running. Okay. But yes, we were talking about units, so... There's like a little... There's just
Someone
a
has
small minor
become
bug.
sick.
Become sick? No.
A foul plague is spreading in our town.
No? No? You're going to be sick? No? No? Okay. So yeah, in theory, they should be able to
Disease has broken out.
all the way to here. And it goes. So, some of the improvements that we're going to be making to walls in future patches is when you have got several arbalists selected and you want them to guard a section of wall.
One of our villagers has developed a fever.
We will implement it so that when you right click on that section of wall, then they will space out equally at even intervals.
There's been an outbreak of disease.
So that you can get even sort of guard points, and then when you upgrade to the tier 3 walls, which are the big stone walls, they have merlons, and the guards will stand in the right places. Sorry, the arbalists will stand in the right places so that they can actually shoot through. But yeah, I mean, walls still need a little bit of sort of mechanics work on them, and we want to do it so when you're placing buildings and wall down, it will automatically sort of clear the area. But you won't benefit from those resources if you haven't cleared those resources. But it will just make construction that little bit easier. And if you didn't know...
Our village is under attack.
It seemed to go a bit weird when I built it there. But you can actually go like up hills with walls. Which is pretty cool. I don't think I'd have enough resources to build it all there, but still. Okay. So the next bit that we're moving our focus on is the RPG side of the game.
Our town is under attack.
Nope, they're under attack. Looks like spiders attacking. We've spent the last 6 months or so
One of your subjects is feeling unwell.
Focused on the city building aspect of the game. And we will continue to work on that, but most of the assets are done, a lot of the mechanics are coming together. So now the art team have moved on and have been working on the RPG side of the game. And now that we've got load save out of the way, Aaron can get busy with working on the quest designer so that we can actually put quests in a tutorial into Sandbox.
Someone has become sick.
We'll also be
a foul
revealing
plague is spreading in our town.
Next month, at some point in next month, probably one of the dev hangouts, the first 2 factions that you'll be encountering.
Disease has broken out.
This map. There's a lot of disease going on. And anyway, so we'll be revealing that. We'll be looking at some of the work that's been going on Heroes, and hopefully we can start to see those coming in. But there's this misunderstanding that when we changed before launch on early access several months before, we decided that we're going to change from the sort of linear campaign approach to Sandbox, and that meant building entirely new tech. It meant building the editors that we need.
One of
anyway
our
to produce the
villagers
game.
has developed a fever.
And there seems to be some misunderstanding that we've lost the story-driven aspect of the game. And we haven't. It's just that we haven't got around to implementing that yet, because you need to build everything else. You need to build the world before you can actually have quests in there. So we're now moving on to that stage of the game and the RPG and exploration side. So we've already released a couple of dungeon kits. We'll be releasing some things like trigger events and traps to make that a fun experience, and heroes and special abilities as well. So that is now what we're now moving on to. There are still a few more buildings to add. So we've got the marketplace to add. There are the stables and the cavalry to add. If you want to check out the cavalry, they are in the professions guide on the website. And later this month, in March, we'll be releasing or updating the website with the factions, with some new characters on there. So that's definitely worth
There's
checking
been
out.
an outbreak of disease.
Yes, I know. So yeah, lots more exciting updates to come. When will the lava zone be added to the game? I would suspect in maybe about 5 months' time.
One of your subjects is feeling unwell.
4 to 5 months' time, because we're trying to focus now on making. I just saw some projectile vomiting going off over here and there.
Ready to work.
We're trying to focus on what we've got and putting all of the remaining mechanics and make a very enjoyable game. And while we're doing that, the art team, some of the art team can, of course, continue on to be developing the lava zone. But producing those kits takes time. So it's happening. It's just that we've got other things to work on, like
Someone has become
dungeons,
sick.
and portals, and connecting it all together into a world map and making the RPG side of the game work. So that everybody that wants to play the RPG side of Folktale can get that. So the village side has now been addressed. Now we need to focus on the needs of players who want more of the RPG side. You might want both sides, but at least now you have got a very playable village and economy simulator. If we'd have just continued as we were 8 months ago, we were spread too thinly, so we decided to focus on the economy building, and that's played dividends and enabled us to get us to this point now.
What's up?
Which is several hours of playable fun. This is just one map, of course. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's coming together. And I think on that note, it's a good point to wrap up the stream. So if you are new to the stream, please consider following the stream by clicking on the purple heart image below the stream. Alternatively, you can follow us by going to twitch.tv/GamesFoundry and again clicking on that purple heart. We will post this video on YouTube, so you can check it out on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Foundry.
A foul plague in our town.
I'll say that again, youtube.com/GamesFoundry. And we're on Twitter as @GamesFoundry. And the final mention, we also have the 2015 player satisfaction survey. So if you haven't done so already and you own the game, then please
Villagers are in need of firewood.
go and check that out. There is a link in the forums. There's also an announcement. So if you go to Folktale on Steam and have a look at the news on that, you will see a link. Please complete that. Let us know your thoughts about how we've been doing, and you can also share any sort of suggestions you like. If you're not a big fan of forums, there's a question at the end where you can put in your thoughts. I do read each individual one. I have been reading them almost on a daily basis since we started the survey, and that survey will close at the end of March. So it's a good opportunity to have a play on the game, Actually, a lot of people mentioned about load
Disease has
save.
broken out.
So if you have completed a survey, you can still go back in, and if you want to change your answers, you can do now that we've shipped load save. And yeah, look forward to seeing the results of that, which we will be sharing in a future blog. So thanks for joining us this Wednesday. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.